Since we're on the subject of focus management, let me show you another really useful technique. On most websites, the main content is usually not the first thing in the DOM. Instead, we often begin with navigation, sublists, sidebars, hamburger menus, and other bits of page scaffolding. This means that keyboard and screen reader users must first navigate through all of this content before they can get at the actual heart of the page. For users with motor impairments, this is especially frustrating. A user who's unable to move their arms might be navigating the page with a switch device, which they activate by tapping their head. This user is just going to have to tap over and over again to get through all of these elements before they can get to our content. And that's not cool. Thankfully, there's an easy-to-implement solution to this problem. Let's create a hidden link that allows keyboard and switch device users the ability to jump straight to our page content. These links are often referred to as skip links. Let me show you an example. So here we are on the Funyun news site, and I have some navigation up here, which normally a keyboard user would have to tab through. Instead, when I press tab, the first thing I'm presented with is this little option up here in the top of the corner, which is asking if I'd like to skip down to the main content. Pressing enter will then move focus down to the main content area, bypassing all of our navigation. Implementing a skip link is actually really easy. I'll start by creating a named anchor. So the href of this anchor refers to the ID of another element that I'll have on the page. I'm also going to give this element a class of skip link so I can refer to it in CSS later. I want the skip link to appear early in the DOM, so I'm going to put it before my navigation. To connect my skip link to my main content, I'll give my main element an ID of main content, which matches the href value up here. So these two are now connected. In newer versions of Chrome and Firefox, just doing this right here will allow you to move focus down to the main element when the skip link is pressed. But for older browsers which don't move focus when named anchors are clicked, I'm also going to want to add a tab index of -1. Over in my CSS, I'll make sure that the skip link has an absolute position, so it can appear in the top left corner of the screen. But I'm going to make it initially positioned off screen by setting the top value to -40 pixels. Then I can use the focus pseudo class to move the element back on screen. We'll talk more about the focus pseudo class in a later lesson, but the short explanation is that this pseudo class matches anytime the corresponding element gains focus. With these simple techniques, we've removed the roadblocks from the path of our keyboard users and greatly improved their experience. If you're interested to learn more about other techniques for creating skip links, I'll leave a link down in the instructor notes to a WebAIM article which covers them in more detail.